Hello there, good people.
Okay, hello.
There you go.
I'll get it someday, Chef.
That's all right. We're gonna wait maybe just a minute. So, Arlene and Terry, among you two, which one of you picked up game hen? Which one of you picked up pork tenderloin?
I
Terry,
got chicken.
so you got the game hen, Arlene. Terry, you picked up pork tenderloin, right? You're muted.
No, sir. I actually got the chicken.
Got that game hen.
No, it's the chicken we had the first last week. And as
Big,
I was,
whole big chicken.
yes, sir.
That's what you got?
Yes, sir.
Oh, it should have been in a little package. It should have been a
Right. When I got to looking at it and looking a little bit closer, I was like, this isn't what I'm supposed to have. But I mean, I go right before class, and so I'm trying to get up there by 4, and I need to pace myself differently, I guess.
No, that's fine. I talked to the purchasing and product ID people, and we got it all worked out. So
Okay.
um
Do
we
they give us the sheet, or do we bring our own sheet?
um it might be helpful for you, although if you go, so the cart is supposed to be built on Wednesday in the Wednesday's product ID class. So tomorrow they should have built the cart with the pork tenderloin on it.
Okay, see, I think where I came in wrong was I picked up mine on Monday. So it's been there since last week. And so I picked it up Monday. And so there was only one left. And I was like, okay, I'm late.
Yeah, that was last week's stuff.
Yes,
They
sir.
haven't taken that cart down yet. And so we they got it all fixed. We've got it all fixed. And so I have a plan for this week, even though it sounds like everybody's got different products. And so we're gonna be able to work with that. Even though everybody's got different stuff. I'm gonna have to go into week 3, the lab assignment, and change around the lab assignment a little bit. I think I might not. So okay, here's what we're gonna do. I want to cover I want to cover just one thing while we're all together, and then we'll have a little Q&A at the end. So why we're switching gears, obviously, is Arlene got chicken, the whole big chicken from a week ago, not even the game hen that was supposed to be this week. Terry got the pork tenderloin that's next week. Tara got the game hen that's supposed to be this week.
Yeah.
Right now, all 3 of you all have different stuff.
Yes.
So let's talk about plate presentation. We're going to talk about plate presentation in general terms, not specific to game hen or chicken or pork tenderloin or pork loin or anything like that. Okay. If we miss anything from this week, the primary cooking method from this week was roast. So we'll come back to that in a minute, because no matter what product you have, I'd like you to roast it. Okay. We'll get there in a minute. Let me share my screen because I did a PowerPoint because I had to scramble. I did this PowerPoint about an hour ago. Started it about an hour ago. So if it's a little bit disjointed, my apologies already.
Well, you did a good job.
Oh, that's it. So You should see a little paddle cutting board and it says Food to Zoom.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Everybody see that?
yes.
Okay. We're going to talk first of all, just basic. I'll call it basic. Here's the difficulty with plate presentation and where we are right now in culinary school. Okay. One main significant problem is there are no real hard and fast specific rules. So this is a tough thing for some of us to get our hands around. If you identify as a creative person, you see colors. Okay, here's the thing. You can, we're not using the chat right now because I can't see it. So there's just the three of you. You can give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Here's, you walk into an empty room. You've remodeled a section of your house, or you just bought a new house, or you're moving into an apartment, and you walk into this empty room. And in the empty room, there's no furniture, there's nothing on the walls, there are no drapes, there's just plain white walls. If you, in your mind, if you see in that room furniture already placed, if you see pictures already on the walls, if you see the colors of this is the feature wall and this is secondary wall, if you see drapes hanging, or if that makes sense to you, you're probably a creative person. And as a creative person, I'm going to name before this night's over, 4 or 5 or 6 different general ideas that if you keep those general ideas in mind, each week, based on the ingredients that we have, you'll just see a plate. Then all you have to do is put on the plate what you see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do any of you identify as that kind of person? You can walk into a blank. Okay. All right. Hey.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
I am that person.
From building houses, I don't even have to have the drywall up. I can just tell by walking in the house.
And you see, you just see it. It's in
I
Yeah.
your
have to see it first. I can't put it in my mind. I can't picture it in my mind.
Okay. So Erlene, you need to see it. My wife is that way. I'm the creative. My wife is very analytical and she wants all the details and all the numbers.
Exactly. And I have to close my eyes, and I try, but I just can't until I see maybe even a smaller scale.
Well, I'm going to give ideas for both types. Okay.
Thank
First,
you.
let's talk about maybe tools, and then let's talk about some specific plate design concepts. Okay. Y'all don't need to run out and go buy a bunch of tools. Don't go out on Amazon or somewhere on the interwebs and buy squeeze bottles and offset. This right here is an
I already have them.
spatula. If you already have them, that's fine. It's great. Use them. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
These are sauce spoons. These sauce spoons, they kind of come to a tip right up here. It's all, you can write on your plate with these kind of sauce spoons,
Okay.
almost like doing calligraphy. These are standard serving spoons, ladle, a small mesh strainer. A lot of things you can do with cocoa, with finely ground coffee, with powdered sugar. A lot of stuff you can do with things like this. This is just kind of a sampling of even things that you may not think about to use for plate presentation, but things that most of these you probably have. And like Alton Brown on Food Network, I like to focus on multitask tools. I don't think we ought to, please, we're not going to spend any time this semester with these sauce spoons that allow you to write on the plate. This is a tool that only has one purpose. Okay. But you can place sauce on the plate with just a regular serving spoon. That's a multi-purpose tool. Okay. While this may look like, at first glance, while this may look like how we would place sauce on a plate, okay, don't think of this as just sauce on the plate. Think of each one of these plates, and these are just, this is get your creative juices flowing. This is everything you put on the plate might have this yin and yang half circles. You might have a curve and a straight line on the plate. This could be sauce. This could be sauce, but this could also be your veg and your starch. This could be your protein, maybe right in the middle of this, and your sauce underneath the protein. And this is the whole concept of the plate. Maybe you do a plate that's just a zhush, or the entire plate is a half moon, is a semicircle on the plate. Maybe you do things that are linear serpentine, but parallel to each other. Maybe everything is straight lines. And so you just have one straight line of all of your plate. Remember, we're talking for this class exclusively about entree plates, the main feature of a whole dish, and so or a whole meal. And so your main entree course generally is going to have a protein, a sauce, a starch, and a veg. So here in the top left-hand corner, maybe all of that, the sauce, the protein, the veg, the starch, is lined up in one line right in the middle of the plate. Or maybe off center, you have two parallel lines. Or, you know, how much you put on the plate, how much space you take up on the plate also might depend on the shape of the plate. Notice not all of these are round. Oblong, square. A square plate turned on its side becomes a diamond. Does that make sense?
I see it now.
Okay. This is all going up into Blackboard, so you'll be able to refer back to this. And what I'll do is post this PowerPoint in addition to the recording. So if you want to come back and visit these slides, feel free to do that. Here's a whole other idea. Maybe you have two different sauces, or you have your protein and sauce, and you got a little bit of veg and a little bit of starch. Maybe you have your sauce and you got veg. Whoops. You got veg, protein, starch, or protein, veg, and starch. Again, these are just ideas, right? These three slides, I don't want you to take them as these are the rules or these are the blueprints and this is what I have to do. No, this is just giving you ideas of what you can do. Okay. Here's some plates and how they were put together. So this whole dish is what you see in the bottom right-hand corner. So you've got fish, you've got carrot puree, you've got a whole carrot. Really, instead of sauce, there's a foam. We won't be getting into foams. This class doesn't get into molecular gastronomy, anything like that. That's next level beyond us. Notice, okay. Tell me something you like about this plate. And tell me
oh, okay.
and then tell me something you don't like about this plate. Go.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you like?
Well, I'm attracted to the colors.
Yes.
Okay. You like
Um,
orange?
I do like orange.
Good. Orange on
Um,
white kind of pops, doesn't it?
It does.
It does.
Yes.
And I like the fact that I see carrots in 3 different forms,
Mhm.
and I see texture. I see different shades of orange. And I'll just let someone else speak.
I have more of a question than a statement, I guess. The whole carrot, is that used in the, is that just for decoration or is that for eating?
That's a good question, Erlene.
Here's the analytical part. I got to put it all together. And it's like, why is that there?
Everything you put on the plate needs to be part of the meal, needs to be edible.
Okay.
This chef is radically opposed to putting a mint leaf on the back end of a cheesecake just so you've got some green color. That mint leaf, while it is edible, that mint leaf only needs to be there if that cheesecake has mint in it. If it's a grasshopper cheesecake, fine, put some mint there for a garnish. But we're too influenced, especially in this country and plate
Mhm.
presentation, we're too influenced by Cracker Barrel and Denny's. And
Yeah.
y'all are going to hear me repeat over and over again, oh, hey, it looks like somebody is plating like we're going to Denny's. Okay? We don't use orange twists and a maraschino cherry sitting on a lettuce leaf. That's not good plate presentation.
Mhm.
So the carrot, I don't know if you can tell very well as this goes through the interwebs, goes through Zoom for you to see, but it has been steamed, it's been blanched and heated. It is an edible, it's eat ready. Even the little green top. These are expensive carrots. They come this size, a little bit of peel very gently. You don't even have to take off the top. It's very, very tender. They're young carrots. They spend about a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes in the boiling water to soften up. And then they can come right out of the water on the plate. They don't have to be shot. This obviously was not sauteed, but that's a long way, Erlene, of getting to your, this is edible. Everything on the plate can be eaten. Except maybe, I'm not 100% sure what kind of fish this is. With the skin side up, it should definitely be an edible skin, but not every fish skin is. I don't think you should be putting on the plate a fish skin that you can't eat.
Okay. Thank you.
We shouldn't garnish with a whole sprig of rosemary because you can't eat that. That's a stick. Okay. We shouldn't garnish a plate with a sprig of thyme. You certainly don't want to eat that, right? Okay. With all of that said,
Hey, chef.
anything you like, anything you want to point out more that you like?
So I like the way the puree is laid out, but to me, it seems like there's just a lot of carrot going on this dish. Like there's a whole lot of carrot. Like it seems like it needs to be broken up with, I mean, you got a little bit of taro down there at the bottom, I think is what that is, but like that's a lot of carrot to eat with that fish.
I agree. I think this is down here at the bottom. I think that's taro of some kind. It prepared in some way. I can't really tell if this is a mash and it's been piped through a bag, or if this is a shave.
I thought it was a shave.
It could be. And depending on the whole influence of flavors, this in the US would be taro. In Mexico, this would be yuca. In Brazil, this would be mandioca. It's all basically the same root. Anyway, if
I do have a question.
you're in a nursing home, this is you're in a nursing home, this is tapioca. Did you know that? Yucca, mandioca, taro, that's where tapioca comes from. Terry, ask your question, please.
Oh, well, the question is beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right?
Yes.
Well, I like all the carrots.
I
But I'm
aesthetically
also,
like carrots. I think if I was eating the dish though, I would not like that much carrot. I don't think it'd balance out well. But
Oh, okay.
aesthetically, it's pretty.
but I will say this, I am a maximalist. So I like a lot.
A lot of different use out of the one thing.
Well, yeah, when I'm cooking at home, yeah, but I guess probably not, it's probably not when I'm out at a restaurant. I don't want too much of the same thing, no.
So there you go. There, I think Terry, you made a point. There is beauty is in the eye of the beholder. What you like is in the palate of the taster, right?
Right.
So one of the things I really appreciate about this plate is just of the carrot. There are probably, I'm guessing, 3 different textures in the puree, in the whole, probably steamed or boiled, and the small dice or the brunoise. You can see a little caramelization. This is probably sauteed. So this is going to be a little more firm. This is going to be a little crunchier than the whole carrot.
Okay.
And this is going to be almost, it's going to be grainy. You can tell by the texture of it. It's going to be a grainy version of mashed potato texture, but carrot puree is something pretty common. I'll go ahead and tell you in advance something that I don't really care about this plate. A negative, I guess. It's all orange. While there is some color, while there is the gray of the fish skin, if
It's
that is
monochromatic.
it's on the edge of monochromatic. It's too much of same. Maybe, an overdue of carrot, but it's an overdue of orange with very little to break that up.
Right.
When you're plating, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
When you're plating, do you say that's part of the menu? If it's not part of the actual menu that goes on the plate and you're putting it there, it is edible, but you're putting it there just for visual looks.
We don't want to do that.
Okay.
We don't want to do that. And so, for the most part, the ingredients that you get in your basket, the ingredients, your bag, even if they're the wrong ingredients, and we're all jacked up getting miscellaneous stuff, whatever the ingredients that you get, I want you to stick to just those ingredients and don't add, well, I've got this pretty, Savoy spinach and I can do some nice big spinach leaves, or I picked some really pretty basil. You'll have some basil coming in your garden if you plant early enough before this semester's over. And you might be inspired to put some great big basil leaves on your plate. Y'all don't do that. Let's get in the practice of plating the food in such a way that it garnishes itself. So on a positive note, looking at this plate, even as it progresses, so the puree went down first, the whole carrot went down. This is one approach, one way to do this. There went my saute, my protein, my sauce in the form of this foam, and then I think it feels like just a garnish. We're just going to say that that's taro. That's just a garnish. They probably needed that garnish to break up all of the orange on the plate. And really, I don't know that it fits. So let's look at the same idea. There'll be 4 little pictures, but we're going to go to a different kind of plate. Same 2 questions. What do you like? What do you not like? Let's get in the habit. We're going to be answering those 2 questions a lot. And in a week or so, we're going to start peer reviewing each other and your plate presentations. And I want to know what you like and dislike. I don't want just, oh, I like that plate. What do you like? What could be different? What could be better?
It's kind of
Consider,
like all jumbled together.
hold on. Consider for a minute, you are the executive sous chef in the kitchen. You are the one that whoever is putting together the entree plate before meal service, that cook is coming to you. Actually, all the plates for meal service in your final pre-service, they're all going to come to you at the pass. You have all the cooks gather around and you're going to critique the plate presentations. So part of this class is you beginning to develop that vocabulary. And it does no good to anybody, especially to all the other cooks. It does no good to anybody to just say, hey, I like your plate. I get a pat on the back, it strokes my ego. That's great. But y'all know me, I don't need any more strokes on my ego. And so just leave that alone. What do you like? If you're able to articulate what you like, that's feedback that all the other cooks in the kitchen are going to take away. And instead of just saying, I don't care for that too much, what do you not care for? Or do you see something that maybe no one else does? Do you see something that you would like it to be a little different? How could it be different? Does that make sense? We want to
Yes.
avoid, I like it, I don't like it. We want to start to be specific about what I like, what I don't like. So while we're looking at the progression of this plate, there was a little pile of potatoes. And then using a fluted spatula. This is for cake decorating, but there's certain tools, just a little scrape. And now you've got all these little lines that ends up on the plate in like 3 seconds. Okay. So they moved on to, if you can tell or not, I believe,
Brussels sprouts.
yes. And I believe these are apples.
This seems like a really odd salad situation. Like the flavor combination doesn't seem to match what the rest of the plate would be.
The issue with that, and we don't know, that's a good observation, Tara, except we don't know what the sauce is.
Yeah.
You know, if this sauce is I don't know, something really dark like a Cabernet, and it's I don't know what's darker. If this is a Merlot, if this is beef stock,
It seems kind of elevated a little bit.
what do you mean elevated?
When I say elevated, like when you're looking at it, it has what's the word? It looks kind of like a pile. It doesn't look like it's just flat. There doesn't look like a sauce to me anyway. You know, like when you put like a scoop of potatoes or something, and I just see like a little peak, I guess.
The peak, like right here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's the meat.
Okay.
That's the meat. You see
Okay.
how it kind of glistens.
Right.
The
That's
sauce,
nice.
the sauce was poured over this, over the meat. So you've got sauce back here, the sauce at the bottom, kind of from our vantage, it's kind of 6 o'clock on the plate. You've got a little bit of sauce running through the grooves of the potatoes.
Do you think that was intentional or just ended up where the sauce ended up?
I think that was where the sauce ended up,
Okay.
Any idea what these 3 cylinders are right here?
Looks like beets, carrots, and maybe a yellow beet.
That's probably a good guess, but it's
All 3 be carrots.
they're all 3 carrots.
They all 3 carrots. Okay, nice.
So I like the texture of the mashed potatoes, but they kind of covered up the whole thing. Like it's kind of like a waste of effort.
That's what I'm saying. Everything was so close together. There's a lot of empty plate beside it, looks like. And you have everything right
Like
there.
all
It's like a
back
bowl.
over here.
Pardon me?
All this over here,
It looks like a bowl.
Looks like a bowl to me.
Right, right.
but you see a lot of empty.
Yeah, along, I'm trying to show you on mine. It's just, where the sauce is coming up to the carrots, but after that, it's all the way around. And if it's
All
supposed to,
this right here is empty,
yes, sir.
and all this up here is empty.
Yes.
What do y'all say about that?
That
I
part
don't-
doesn't bother me.
Are we supposed to use
The
the
negative
whole plate?
space.
That's
We
what I
got
guess.
negative and positive, so you have to find your balance when you're plating.
Okay,
So it's like when you're drawing. If
I
you
guess
know how
I'm
to
kinda
draw,
looking for
they teach
rules.
you about negative and positive space.
right.
Yeah, that's gonna be part of the problem, Erlene. If we're looking for specific rules, there's not a lot of specific rules. So if we're gonna talk about rules, if you want to jot some of these down, I guess I'm just doing this kind of off the top of my head. But some of the positive takeaways from this plate would be great use of color.
Yes.
So we want to consider as much as we can from the ingredients that we're using each week. How do I maximize, how do I get variety of color? Sometimes we may be limited a little bit in how much color we have to work with. So we're going to work with different textures, and maybe developing color is going to be, do y'all see my cursor whenever I move it?
Depends on where
Yes.
you're at. I can see that.
Maybe some of the development of color would be a little more caramelization on the brunoise of carrot. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
If all I have to work with is carrot and I need more color, that's going to give us a little bit more color. Then now I've got dark and light contrast. It's still orange. Orange and brown is still going to be meh,
Monochromatic.
but meh is better than here. There's
Can I share what I do like about this plate?
yes.
I like the cylinder shaped carrots.
Mhm.
I like how they stood I guess those are sauteed apples.
I think so.
Yeah. And kind of the flower-esque-ness of the Brussels sprout leaves.
They're Brussels sprout leaves instead of serving whole Brussels sprouts.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I even now what I don't like is that piece of meat looks like rib, look like a half of a baby back rib or something. I don't know.
I want my
Um,
baby back. I want my
I don't like the meat, but I like the flow of the sauce and the grooves.
And see, I don't like that because it looked like blood going through fingers.
Well, I think it'd be more brown when you actually saw it in person.
I know,
Yeah.
but
But like, if you look at the
I
previous
don't like-
picture, the composition looks better without the meat. Like if they didn't throw a chunk of meat at the end, I think it'd look better.
You mean like
Yeah.
this up here?
And actually, if they had taken the skin off the meat, I think it would look even better. I don't
What's
have a problem
name-
with the meat. Just take the skin off. That throws me.
You mean on the fish?
On the fish, yes.
Oh, I was talking about the swoopy mashed potatoes.
Yeah, I don't like the meat at all either. I don't like the
Like-
meat.
Like,
So,
if
Here,
you,
the bottom left, if we had stopped with this,
Exactly. Yep. That's exactly what
or just not made the swoopy end dead set on the big old chunk of meat. Because like naturally your eye was to wander down the swoop, but now you kind of wander down the swoop and you got stuck with a big giant rock at the end.
It looks like a garden bed with dirty water going through the.
This is where the part of the creative people can see that. What I see in the third slide is it needs something at the end. You know, that's, I mean, I like the plate, but it's it looks even more empty with just the vegetables and without the
I
meat.
see what Earlene is saying. It looks empty on the other side. It's unbalanced.
Right. Okay.
Maybe
Yeah.
if they would have
Plate.
cut the meat and placed it laying down in a form or something, versus just putting it on there and then drizzle it with some sauce.
Just
Maybe
put
that's
it
what
on
it is. The other
the-
things are cut into thirds. You got thirds, and then all of a sudden you got a giant wad of meat.
Right.
Yes. All that.
I love it.
Well, that was in a show somewhere.
This class is so awesome. So let me tell you, if we're making note of certain rules, okay, another rule is, and Jay briefly, just kind of in passing mentioned this, but I think 2 or 3 of us were talking over her. Negative space is our friend. We don't, so I've used this picture intentionally because it's a bowl.
Okay.
It's okay to present an entree, to present something in a vessel that may be unique. A bowl is not just for soup. And so this is a pretty wide bowl with its obvious, it has a pretty large rim. This is a big plate, a big bowl, okay? So it fits for something like this. All this negative space, I would argue there's too much stuff in here. There's too much stuff in the bowl, okay? This semester, I promise you, I'm gonna break you from Denny's and Cracker Barrel plating. We're not gonna do fill up the trough with all the slop that we can put in the trough, everything that can fit. Okay.
He said the trough.
That's what happens. You know, the people go to Denny's because
You're right.
for $1 I get Velveeta and chips that's just dripping all over the plate onto the table, and they just pile more crap on top of it. That's the go to, I don't know, IHOP and go to Waffle House and those kind of places, and they're going to put the eggs and the French toast and the hash browns and the biscuits and gravy, and then they're going to put cheese on the hash browns, and then they're going to put gravy on top of all of that. They come out with a heart attack, and they put it in front of you, and you got stuff dripping on the table, and it looks like I'm getting a lot of food for cheap. And so a good portion of the population want that.
Mhm.
It's considered perceived value, but what really is the value? We're not going to talk about nutrition. We're not going to talk about stuff like that, but we're using real food. We're using real ingredients. This isn't mashed potatoes that came out of some daggone box. This isn't the Idahoan spuds that you boil some water or microwave some water and mix this up with a fork, and you got your mashed potatoes. I mean, delicious Yukon Gold potatoes, boiled, mashed. That's what you would have done tonight. We would have heated butter and cream. We would have put salt and pepper in the butter and cream, and then mix that with the potatoes until we had nirvana.
No.
These mashed potatoes that we would have done today is the whole reason I still have the diabetes. Chick-fil-A's lemonade and God gave us Skittles on this planet. That's probably what gave me diabetes in the first place.
I
But
think it was your Dr. Pepper.
Mhm.
I'm just
my
saying.
diet is well, I didn't always drink diet, and it could be the doctor.
Now we're just dealing with the aspartame.
Right. Formaldehyde.
wrong with aspartame? Aspartame, aspartame
Yeah,
is
yeah.
fine. It's okay. There's not nothing that it does. I only had one Dr. Pepper today, y'all.
Well, you do know that aspartame.
Is that why you
turns to
twitching like that?
formaldehyde.
I don't know what
Exactly.
you're talking about.
I used to be a substance abuse counselor. That's the twitch.
Okay. One thing I really, 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 really do not like about this plate, something to keep in mind, jot down in your notes. Okay. In classical cuisine, when the sauce and the protein are prepared separate. Last week, we cooked the chicken. We took the chicken breast out of the pan, and then we prepared the sauce in that same pan. Most everybody did. Okay. That is protein and sauce prepared separate. Even though we use the same pan, they're prepared separate, right? Classically, in that case, the sauce goes under or around the protein or the plate. We'll see examples of that here in just a second. So pouring everything over the protein, especially in this case, look, you went through the trouble of passing that special trowel through the potatoes to give you this design. We covered the design up, and what was left here, we still covered up with the sauce and all of that. It's a little bit of wasted effort. We could have done something different with the potatoes. Okay. Here's how, so whenever we do cook, when we come back together next week, knock on wood, when we come back together next week to cook, having all of our meats done and everything, and we're ready to cook, just like last week, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to leave. All we're going to do is cook together. You will do the plating after we're done. Okay. Consider your plate. That's one of our rules. There's no rule that says this kind of food needs to be in a bowl. This kind of food needs to be on a plate. The plate needs to be round for this protein, and it needs to be square for that protein, or triangle, or whatever. No, this is where you can be as creative as you want, creative as you can, or limited by ideas that you find on the interwebs, or limited by the product that we have. I hesitate to say I encourage you, because that kind of sounds like I want you to go to the store and buy a bunch of plates. But when I did this class last semester, I did this from my home. Here's a little rabbit hole. Let me jump down this rabbit hole for just a minute. The reason that most Terry, Jay, and Tara, you three had Food One online, and y'all know that I shop from my home. So when I was in the kitchen cutting, I was in my kitchen at home cutting. Tried to not to show too much of background stuff, because I'm tearing my house up. This semester, I'm doing both online, the Food One and Food Two online. I'm shooting from here, from the culinary school. Right now I'm in my office. You know, last week I was in the Gold Lab and working from there. I kind of want to know if, especially from you three, does that, and maybe you don't have an answer right now, but as we go, does it make a difference that you're seeing the instructor demonstrating these cooking methods from the commercial equipment that you would use in the industry, even though you're still at home? I don't know if that makes a difference or not.
It does for me. I'm a visual learner, so you can give me instructions and I can make it my own, or you can teach me the proper technique and then correct me when I'm doing it improperly, versus me guessing that, hey, am I cutting this right? Am I holding my hand right with the knife?
Yeah,
all of
but
that. So
does it make a difference that I'm at the culinary school on commercial equipment versus last semester I was at home? So for food too, unfortunately, y'all can't make that comparison, but I shot food too from my kitchen at home, cooking on gas stove.
mhm,
Maybe that makes a difference. Maybe it doesn't make a difference at
It
all.
doesn't make a
doesn't make
difference
one.
to me.
So I personally
all.
prefer it to be on the commercial kitchen because that's kind of what I've been missing. And that's what I'm trying to get to learn about. But food one, I don't think matters that much because you're showing us cutting techniques, which you can do that on any counter. Like a countertop's a countertop. But I think that your actual, depending on what methodology you're using, the equipment in a commercial kitchen can be vastly different than what we're using here in our homes.
You're absolutely right. It's going to cook faster. In many cases, I think we discovered that maybe a little bit last week.
I did
Especially
for
when you're trying to
sure.
get a pan hot quickly.
Well, see, I have a gas stove, so I don't cook electric anyway.
So what are you
It's a
saying,
little slower.
Terry?
I
Are
don't have
you
no choice.
What I'm saying,
boo-boo to everybody else?
no. What I'm saying is, you on being on a gas stove, because you didn't cook on like gas stove last. You didn't cook. No, we did a lot of cutting techniques last semester.
Yeah, last semester was all.
Cutting.
I think we only cooked once. Didn't we only
And
cook?
curry, it was amazing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was so good. Can I get some more of that seasoning for that curry?
I can
It
be
was
fried.
good.
We'll buy it, man.
I'm here to tell you, you need to bottle that and sell it, but give us ours.
Terry wants a cut.
We'll promote it
love
for
that
you.
stuff.
How much you want?
How much you want to sell it for?
No,
I'll
come
take that
on.
whole container.
Just,
No,
Start a
just
bidding war.
let me
yeah.
know when you're coming. If you want some,
I
right
do.
away. Let
Yes.
me know.
I make curry all the time. Well, often enough, I won't say all the time, but that curry seasoning is the bomb.
Let me know when you're coming up to pick up product.
I will.
When you're coming up again to get your pork tenderloin.
Not this week. Oh, right. You're right.
You'll come
I
back
get you.
this week or Monday. You'll come back, Thursday or Friday or Monday, and you're gonna get. So Terry, you got the pork tenderloin, right?
I have the pork tenderloin, and I'll be back on Thursday.
And you're gonna
Between-
pick up exactly the same thing that you picked up
Uh-huh.
before.
And I can still come between 4 and 5 o'clock to pick up, or do you have class at 4 to 5?
No, I got class at 5:30.
I'll be there at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Can I squirrel us? Because that's what I do.
Huh?
I told Jay and Terry that I would bring them some empanadas. So am I allowed to put food on their cart for them to pick up whenever they come? You can say no. It's okay.
But we prefer you to say yes.
We can
Oh, and
meet
I
you
can
in
leave it
Park
for the rest of the
Ranch.
classmates too. But we just
I'm
discussed.
saying,
it. I
if
was trying
only
to figure out
they're
the best
getting them,
way
I
to
don't
get
think
it
she
to them.
should do it. I'm kidding.
Well, here I'm.
I mean, I'm speechless. Aren't you guys proud of me?
Yes.
I know, right?
Maybe
Maybe it's because of the COVID, COVID rules.
I like this class and I like you guys and I don't want y'all to be all, oh, this chef is really a mean prick and everything. But
No,
here I'm gonna say no, and I'm gonna say no for one reason, and that one reason is even our own purchasing people. I have a refrigerator in my desk, one of those little short office refrigerators, because the health department, when they come and visit, if the health department comes into your restaurant and they see personal food, your lunch bag, your lunch box, whatever, in the same walk-ins, the same refrigerators, the same storage as the restaurant product, that's a pretty big. We get dinged. Any restaurant would. And
Well,
so-
we don't want to ding this college. No big deal. We'll figure it out.
But Zach and Jen and Regina and Terry that work downstairs, work in purchasing and catering, they bring their own food and they eat here. And there's a cart where they leave their stuff. So I'm gonna add to the no that yes is still a possibility, but I think it ought to be something that you ask directly of Jen and or Zach,
Okay.
and they'll tell you a place that it can go, and y'all don't tell anybody, just
Mhm.
Jen or Zach, because we certainly don't want to get everybody else starting. You know, I'm leaving this for somebody else, and I'm leaving that for somebody else. Then
I'll hunt them down. I can just take it to
Yeah, I
them.
don't know
No big
nothing
deal.
about what you're talking about.
We don't need to make anything difficult.
No. Oh, Tara, you know where I work, or
Oh,
I
I know
can
where you
meet you
work.
after work, and I deliver Jay's to her.
are they beef empanadas?
Yeah, beef.
Oh,
I'll
that
bring
sounds
one.
so
down with
good.
it.
I mean,
I can get early one too.
Oh, they sound so good. I love empanadas.
I can't. So plate. Let's get back to this, or otherwise we're gonna stay down this
Oh,
rabbit
yeah.
hole. And y'all just, I want it duly noted at the end of the semester when y'all do the course evaluation. Now y'all remember that tonight you guys went down the rabbit hole. Okay? It wasn't just me, so we all share in rabbit hole moments in this class.
Right.
We do.
Pointing that out. Okay?
Food related rabbit holes, though.
Well, I mean, it's all food.
I
Even the
know.
rabbit. You don't know how good rabbit tastes. Speaking of that, there you go. Here's what we want a plate to look like.
It's
I
pretty.
like that. That's pretty.
I'm still hungry, but it's pretty.
Right. Right.
Like when you get through taking a picture of it, add some more of the meat onto the side. It's whatever this stacked up potato
It looks
is.
like phyllo dough. Is it?
Mhm.
It's potato.
That's a potato? What?
So
The fried.
first the potato has been
Shaved.
those shavers, those peelers.
Mhm.
Not just peeling, but you can shave off a whole long, like lasagna strips, a whole long, unwrapping really a whole potato, or a carrot, or a zucchini, or something like that. So this potato was done like that, and then cut, and all those super thin things were stacked in layers,
Wow.
doused
Pretty.
entirely in butter. Then it's baked, and the butter and the potato baked together kind of fuses it just a little bit, and then the whole stack is taken out and it's cut again, and then that's fried in a pan.
Mm.
That doesn't sound horrible.
Oh, it's, I mean, yeah,
Sounds very tedious.
tedious. That
Charge more.
that is why high-end restaurants
Yep.
are going to
Charge more.
pay good people, and most of what you will do in a high-end restaurant in this business is prep. That's why we start food one is just knife skills. You cut, because your parsnips need to be pretty good dice. Whatever you're doing with the carrots, those are just cut, so that's not a classical cut. Anything you don't like about this plate?
I don't
Needs
like the
more
color of
food.
the sauce myself.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
What this?
So
Yes. I don't like the color of the sauce.
maybe
This-
That, oh
What?
yeah,
Like,
the
This drizzle all around is the sauce.
okay,
yeah, but
not
I
the
like
drip.
that, but the mud doodle brown looking color in the middle, I don't like that.
Brown, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was talking about for a sauce. What is that, like some puree something?
It's mushroom puree.
Oh, yeah, they could have
That's
kept
why
that.
it's that color.
So think of the sauce, the potato, the mushroom puree, the filet mignon.
I love that.
Have you
Can I get a couple more of those for bite-sized filet mignons and another
you're
stack of
gonna
these potatoes?
get some filet on week 6. You're gonna get filet, and that's coming up in 3 weeks. You're gonna get filet.
Yes.
We're definitely gonna do that together. You're gonna do my favorite dish. You know what it means? Have you heard the term deconstructed?
Yes.
Yes.
I think that's a term we had this
It
semester.
is. It is.
So this is not that, but it is almost deconstructed beef Wellington. There's only one thing missing to be a full-on beef Wellington. And
What's
that's
that?
puff pastry.
Mm.
You traditionally serve a beef Wellington with mashed potatoes. These are fried.
We lost him.
You froze.
Am I still froze? Am I still froze?
Come back, chef.
Hello? Hello?
I
Hello?
love you, ladies.
Hello? 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 What about now? Now? Now?